formation. Now drivers are lining up side by side. Thank you, Acreal, for the donation as well. And he says, good luck, Alex Rowe, Mary Hammer, Cord, and Ibanez. So supporting quite a few drivers here on this grid. But currently lining up on the front row, it's Cam Diz and Tom. Tom in P1, Cam Diz in P2, Ibanez in P3. Can't remember who that is in P4. Who's that? Oh, Various Sky in P4. But look how close the bunch of drivers are now. And we're going to be green any moment now, and we are green. There we go. So Tom off to a good start. Can Cam hold it round the outside? No, it doesn't look like he has. So Tom now going defensive into turn 2. Cam really trying to look for a move very early on here, but doesn't look like he's been able to do that. Ibanez still close behind. Various Sky has got Lapria on his inside nearly. Lapria has moved up quite a few positions already. He started in 6th, I think, Matt?
Yes.
Yeah. And Joe Racing, where is he? 94. The tower will shuffle around. We'll just wait for that to sort itself out. And the Audi down the inside. Both Audis battling with each other. I think that was Cord down the inside of Eduardo. He got loose on the exit though. And that's Joe Racing 94. He's going to have to lift off the throttle to avoid slamming into the back of them. But look how close they are in this mid-pack. But they've got through that chicane nice and cleanly.
Oh, Laprea off that.
Oh, what's happened to Laprea?
Hit the curb. Launched off track.
Yeah, the curb on the exit of the chicane on that right-hander. It's very lethal if you take too much of that. But he's back down to P6, I think. Yeah, back down to P6. And it's now being
Another car off track.
That was Cord, yeah. He's made a mistake as well, so quite a few mistakes early on in this race. And Cord's going to lose a position to, I think that is Tord, who's made his way up the field. Another mistake from Cord, I think. And he's going to be side by side with Turlon. Turlon's going to have the inside coming down into turn 1. And it looks like he's later on the brakes. Can Cord hold it around the outside? He's trying to. And no, once again, getting the rear end out. And it looks like Paul Moyes very close there to Cord. But Piroth a bit late on the brakes into turn 2. Almost rear-ended Paul Moy though. But these two Bentleys tied on points in the championship. And they're both P12 and P13 on track together. So quite a good battle. In the championship.
we have the leader off. The leader's off. Leader is off.
Oh, is that Tom? Tom? Oh yes, he's lost the car there. Was that through the chicane?
Yes, yes.
Ah, so possibly taking too much curb then. And I said Tom might be undefeated. I don't think he will be now. He's down into what looks like P4, 5.
He's 2 behind Laprea because I am stuck on Laprea. I have no camera angle.
If you press options, turn to garage, it should let you change afterwards.
Yep. You got it. Thank you. Here we go.
Perfect. And looks like Alex Rowe still in P8. Vander struggling with connection. I think that may be due to him streaming his race. But look at the battle towards the back of the field. Meso in P19 battling with Shadow Destiny. Mary Hammer just ahead on this straight. Cord's off again.
Cord is off.
Seems to really be struggling with the car at the moment. And he's got it back on the black stuff. But yeah, I think he's just lost it by himself. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Possibly cold tires, possibly. He's really struggling to have grip through those slow corners. Possibly really not enough downforce either.
Yeah, looks to be the case because he doesn't have any damage on the car. So yeah, really struggling with the rear end of that Audi. Looks like Tom still can't get past Eduardo. They jumps over those curbs in the chicane. And he's got to be careful with that because he's made a mistake last time around. Doesn't want to repeat that. You can see there cones flying in the air. That's the track limit cones. And track limits like at this track quite lethal as well, especially through those chicanes. And oh, that's Eduardo off. Looks like he may have had a bit of oversteer on the exit of that right-hander. Seems like the Audis are really struggling here at Zolder.
Perhaps they're on the same setup.
Maybe. I know the Audis are going to struggle over the curbs as well. But we know...
Dual Racing's being run down here by Alex Rowe and Torty. They're really pressuring him hard.
Oh yeah, very much so. It looks like these three have pretty much been matched on pace since the start. But now they're catching up to Eduardo, so a 4-car battle here for P6 down to P9. Turlon's got Pourmoy down the inside into turn 2, but doesn't look like he can make it stick. And Turlon holds on to P10 then. Where's Lord Piroth? He's dropped down the order slightly. He was hoping for a wet race, but you know, never know. The weather can suddenly change here at Zolder, but it looks like the number 13 Aston Martin really hassling the back of him here. And Pourmoy down the inside there. Oh no, he had a look, but sensibly backed out of that move. And
looks like Tom and the number 3 Mercedes is really looking to get around the Freya hard here. He's working his way back up towards the front.
Yeah, looks like he's going to take the inside. No, Lepria going very, very defensive there. Can Tom go for a switchback maybe? He's tried it, but a bit squirrely on the exit. Looks like the Honda driver of Lepria is going to hold on to that position. But for how long can he do so? Coming up towards this final chicane, Tom really eager to get this move done. But he's definitely got the pace to get past, but where on track can he do so? Zolder's not the widest of tracks at all. Lepria going defensive into turn 1 again. Oh, a bit of a collision with the pit wall there from Tom, I think.
Trying to use all the track.
Yeah, a bit too much, I think, but he's going to send it down the inside into turn 2. Lepria left the door wide open there, and I think Tom's up into P4 here, so a very good move from Tom, although they're still side by side. Can Lepria hold it around the outside? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Tom's taking the racing line there, and it looks like we've got yellow flags out on track. No, it doesn't seem like there's any issues there, but Lepria looking back for a move. He's late on the brakes into the chicane. He's got that move back, but on the exit, they're side by side, and Tom's got it back once again. So a great battle between those two, yeah, unbelievable. But with these two battling, Eduardo is catching back up to these two once again.
Yeah, Tom's not going to like that. I mean, hey, all is fair on the track fighting for position, but Tom really wants to get up front. That mistake was very costly. He did have the field covered, but we'll see what he can do with 22 minutes left.
Yeah, and he's got 4.5 seconds to vary a sky. But if he's lapping a second or two quicker than him, I'm sure he'll be able to get back up to the top. It's just Cam in P1 and Ibanez even in P2 definitely aren't going to be easy to get past. And look at this, Lepria once again going defensive now. He hasn't been able to catch a break this race. He's now got Eduardo all over the back of him. And God, I would not want to be in Lepria's position. And very late on the brakes there for Eduardo. But the amount of pressure that Lepria must be feeling, yeah, wouldn't want to be in his position.
Hasn't had a chance for his heart rate to come down yet.
Exactly. He's going to be sweating after this race. And then look at that, Eduardo with a bit of a dummy. He sold him for the outside. He's going to try the inside here. I think he's going to have to back out of that, and he does. But bouncing over the chicanes, those curves in the chicane, toward on the back of Alex Rowe here. Still hasn't been able to get past, but these two have been neck and neck since the start of the race. And Tord wasn't prepared for these conditions, I don't think. He was saying he only had tyre pressure set for 15 degrees. And really tyre pressures are based on the ambient temp, not track for some weird reason on ACC. But let's hope he's got that sorted out. And looking further down,
we have a big battle back here for 13th place. Optimus has been putting a lot of pressure on Lord Ferrith. Made a move through the chicane, didn't make it stick, bounced the McLaren over the curb, but he is still pressuring hard.
Yeah, Yeah, and Pelfrey's been doing quite well. I think he's been much more confident here at Zolder, obviously with the Bentley being a very good car at Zolder, and he runs slightly deep into the second part of the chicane. Maybe those tyres struggling as well. You can see the rear end sliding slightly, but he's obviously on controller, is Piroth, and I think Optimus is on the wheel here, so he's at a disadvantage already, but he's holding off Optimus. And look at the battle between P16 and 17. Merry Hammer and Joe Racing 62 also going at it. Shadow Destiny's dropped off the back of them. He's now 5 seconds behind these two. And looks like Joe Racing 62 is going to try around the outside into turn 2 here. Can he hold it? Merry Hammer's going to have the inside here for both these right-handers. Joe Racing using all of the curb, all of the track available. But it looks like Merry Hammer might be able to hold on. And Svander into the pits. What's happened to him? Has he got some damage? Doesn't look like he does. Maybe he was on the wrong tyres. Not quite sure there. Or maybe he stopped his...
a mistake by Merry Hammer. A mistake by Merry Hammer through the chicane, took too much of the curb, launched it, and we have Jewel Racing taking that position back.
Nice, so Jewel Racing capitalising on that mistake from Merry Hammer. You can see their Shadow Destiny in the background. Merry Hammer sliding the rear end of the Aston a bit. We do have a fast track, so we're not at optimum grip here, but back to the battle for P5. Priya still holding off Eduardo, and they can't keep going on like this for another 18 minutes. I mean,
I'm telling you, Laprea cannot catch a break. He has been in a battle since the green has dropped.
I know, surely he's going to have to make a mistake at some point. I think Svander has stopped his live stream, so the connection seems to be much better now. But yeah, Eduardo bouncing over the curbs once again. If Laprea can hold Eduardo off until the finish line, then hats off to him, but taking a lot of curb
Absolutely.
through that second chicane. Yeah, we've got so many battles going on. We've got P12 and P13 once again, Lord Piroth and Optimus. They're losing time though to Meso behind in the number 4 AMG. And Meso, the past 2 races, I think he's picked up some heavy damage, and a mistake from Lord Piroth. Returns onto the track, but I think that's Optimus gaining that position, and Jesus, threading the needle there, almost into the barriers, but he's gone deep into the hairpin. I don't think Piroth is going to give that position back. He might.
He's got a run though.
Yeah,
he does. Has a run.
Is he going to send it into this final chicane? I don't know. He looks a bit far back for me.
Ooh.
Did he try for it?
He didn't try, but he did back out. But he did have a little bit of a run. If he wanted to risk the biscuit, as they say, he could have. But I think he was very smart in backing out there.
Yeah, would have ended in a bit of a collision, but that unleashes Optimus into P12, and I'm sure he'll be looking to hunt down the number 13 Aston in P11. But back to Eduardo and Laprea. Laprea has been able to open up a slight gap to Eduardo now, so a bit of a break, a bit of breathing room, and Joe Racing 94 is only 2 seconds behind.
I think what happened to Eduardo is he hit the curb and the chicane and launched it, as we've seen all race long so far from just about everyone in the field.
Yeah, and looking back to Tom, that we spoke about earlier, he's closing up to Various Sky now. Obviously he made that move into P4, but it's taken him quite a while to catch up to P3. I would have expected him to catch up much sooner than this.
Yeah, it's been 6 minutes.
Yeah, there's only 16 minutes left in the race, and for him to catch up, he's going to have to get past as well, and that will put him into P3 if he can get past. But then he's still got another 4, maybe even 5 seconds to Ibanez in P2.
I believe Various Sky started in 3rd. Is that correct?
I can't quite... Yes, he did, I think. Yeah, I believe he did.
So great for him holding that spot all race long.
He either started in 3rd or 4th. It was on the 2nd row. yeah, Tom's going to have a hard time getting past here, and he's going to lose quite a bit of time to Ibanez as well, just by battling with Various Sky, and I'm sure Various Sky is not going to let Tom get past easily whatsoever.
And I'm going to keep my eye on the battle between 5 and 6 while you're watching 3 and 4, because Eduardo has closed the gap back to almost half a second now.
Yeah, he's caught up back to Lapria. But Joe Racing's lost some time as well, so maybe a mistake there from him. It's halfway into the race now. Can Tom get this move done on this next lap? A mistake there from Various Sky. Tom's gone for the switchback. Oh, I had to slam on the brakes there to avoid slamming into the back of Ibanez, and he hasn't been able to get that move done. So look at that, they're 6 seconds now behind Ibanez. So they've lost about a second and a half, just that last lap, by battling. Tom's looking for a gap there into turn 2, but Various Sky shuts the door. And I think Tom might not be thinking about P1 or P2 here. He's probably just looking to get a podium in this race. But Svander still in the pits, had some connection issues, so I think he may have retired the car. And oh, mistake there from Various Sky, massive mistake. May have taken a bit too much curb in that chicane, and he's lost that position to Tom. Let's go back to the battle between Lapria and Eduardo. Eduardo looking for a gap once again. Lapria, he had a gap to Eduardo, now it's completely disappeared. So,
yeah, he had a Eduardo over the curb.
Yeah, that's a mistake from him. And once again, Lapria's got that gap, 1 second gap.
It's a game of yo-yo between these two.
Yeah, definitely. And looking down the order, Mary Hammer and Shadow Destiny, P18 and P19. Shadow Destiny very, very close. He's almost pushing Mary Hammer around turn 2. And I think Mary Hammer's race has gone from bad to worse here. He started further up the order, but now he could be looking at losing P18 here, and he's run wide onto the gravel slightly. That's going to hinder his straight line speed coming down to this first chicane. Looks like Shadow Destiny. He's got that move done even before the braking zone. So yeah, Merryhammer down into P19 then. And it looks like they've got Cam Diz who's coming to lap them. Yep, that is Cam Diz. So he's going to put a lap on these two. But the midfield quite spread out now.
It is. We did see a lot of battles for the entire first half of this race, and looks like some people have found their pace and their comfort zone and calmed down a little bit. Others possibly just dealing with whatever pressures they have and just working with what they got. That you may see some people in positions you're not used to seeing them in right now. Yeah,
definitely. And it looks like, I'm just watching the delta between Messo and Lord Piroff. It's coming down 1.4 seconds. And Messo's on a roll here. Seems to be using much more of the track than Piroff is. So maximising his exit speed and entry speed as well. But they're also catching up to Optimus. Optimus hasn't really been able to pull away that much. I think he may have made a mistake somewhere, I'm not too sure. But we'll keep an eye on these two.
Well, that's what I mean. Everyone's been basically under pressure for the most part of this race, and I think now that you're seeing everybody get that 3 to 4 second gap, you're going to see those mistakes disappear, hopefully for the majority of the field, and we'll really see what kind of pace everyone has now.
Yeah, and I've just noticed Eduardo's got past the Priya, so the Honda 46 hasn't been able to hold him off, and he was able to do it for over half the race, and now I think Eduardo may have just found a little chink in the armour of the Priya, and he's taken that position up into P5.
I think Lafreya may have left a little rubber on the track. His tires may not be holding up as well as he is hoping for right now.
No, I mean, this fast right-hander we're going through now, I remember him saying he isn't able to take it flat out. He may have tried it just then. You can see he just runs wide onto the grass. And, yeah, the Honda's definitely not an easy car to drive. But Lapria still P3 in the standings, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check. Yeah, P3 in the standings, and he's only 15 points behind Alex Rowe in P2, so it looks like he may be gaining a few points on Alex Rowe this race.
And those are some of the things as a driver you really have to keep not in the back of your mind, but more so in the middle of your mind. It's really the big picture in a series like this. Yeah, if you're in Lapria's position, you can try to push it and go catch Eduardo again, but is it really worth it in the end, in the overall picture? No, I don't think it is.
No,
just
it's not.
settle in, run your race at this point, and just take your spot.
Yeah, especially with just 9.5 minutes to go, you don't really want to be pushing too much because you never know what mistakes can occur with overdriving the car. And he's got a comfortable gap to Joel Racing 92 in P7, so once again doesn't really need to push. But looking back between Lord Perth and Meso, it's under a second.
I just switched to them as well, battling again.
Yeah, once again. And I'm not sure what livery Meso's running. Is it a Ram Racing livery? I'm not too sure. No, it doesn't look to be. I mean, he's run this livery since the start of the season, but just can't quite put my finger on it. But he's definitely putting some pressure on Piroth. He's catching up in the chicanes.
Gonna have some nice speed here.
Yeah, he's just not close enough yet to go for an overtake. I think maybe both of these two are on the controller, but oh, look at that, how close he's got through that second part of the chicane. And a big slide
Great
there for Lord Piroth. Can Meso be the last of the late breakers here? Piroth is going to leave the door open, and no, he's going to hold it around the outside there. The gap between Eduardo and Lapria is still 1 second, so I wonder if we could see these two battling for position once again. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, before we go to them, Tord within a few tenths to Alex Rowe. These two have been pretty much in the same position since the start of the race. Tord hasn't been able to get past, but he's been able to stick with Alex Rowe here. And I'm sure for Lapria, he'll be wanting Tord to get past Alex Rowe, because that means less points for Alex and more points for Lapria.
And that's what we were just talking about. It's that big picture. You have to keep that in the middle of your mind because the season is quite long. A lot can happen. You don't always want to push.
Yeah, definitely. And let's have a quick read of the comments. I'm slow saying it's a Black Falcon livery for Meso. Casey in the comments saying, please no rain in Div 1. Regards, a Ferrari driver. Ferrari's not too bad in the wet, but yeah, no, rain at Zolder's pretty much every sim racer's nightmare.
I'm also doing my anti-rain dance as we speak.
We've got Simo saying, in Spa there are swimming pools on the Camel Straight. In this track there are rivers all along. Yeah, I don't think we've had any standing water, or much standing water in the forecast, or in the practice servers throughout the week. But good to see Guitar Rich in the comments as well. I haven't heard from him in a while. He's saying, I hear thunder and rain incoming. Well, we'll have to see for Division 2. Matt, you're in Division 2 as well. Oh, it looks like we had a disconnection there.
Yeah, that was car 41, I believe. I'm not sure who that is.
Let's have a quick look. JR showing his support for Tord. Car 41. That was Cord.
Oh no, that's too bad.
I don't think he was in the pits. He may have just had a a natural disconnection there. Messo and Lord Prof. I think Messo's got past. Yes, he has. And up into P13 he goes. Prof down into P14. And I think Prof's going to be hoping for a mistake from Messo to get past, because at this stage in the race it looks like Messo is slightly quicker. And look at this, Tom is 1.3 seconds back to Ibanez. 5 minutes left of the race.
Oh, wow.
Ibanez has got a handful to deal with here.
So he has caught up, what was that, 5 seconds in 5 minutes?
Yep, pretty much. 4 or 5 seconds in 5 minutes. And for Tom, he's going to have to get past one of the biggest cars in the grid. The massive Bentley, or Boatley if you like to call it. Yeah, Ibanez is not going to let this go easy. He's been running in P2 pretty much since the start after Tom's mistake. And to lose it in the last few laps, last few minutes, it's going to be devastating for him. So he's going to do everything he can to hold on.
And it'll be interesting too, because he's been riding solo this entire time. So we'll see what he has, ready to go for battle here, because it is looking like it's inevitable.
Yeah, definitely. And Tom maybe pushing a bit too much now. The gap's still a second. Or has Ibanez felt the pressure? He's seen Tom in his rearview mirror and he's now stepped on it once again. But a blue flag's being waved here. Are they approaching some traffic? They're approaching the 777 car. So traffic's going to have to come into play as well. And on Zolder, traffic isn't really what you want.
No.
Especially when you go through these chicanes. I think Ibanez is going to have to time it right, but look how close Tom is through that second chicane. Really closing in here. And Ibanez is going to have to go defensive. He keeps going in the middle of the track there, Tom. Later on the brakes,